recently conducted a poll on our YouTube community wall asking what people wanted from editing software. The option that won by a landslide was to make videos that look beautiful, which posed as a problem because I only put this option because I wanted to see what people thought editing software would actually do. You see, editing can make footage look stunning and videos 10 times better, but in order to do that, you really need good footage to start. If you've not got the right kit and the expertise, I'd say it's very hard to make videos look beautiful. So here's an example. This is a clip from Pav's channel flying his drone. Looks amazing, right? Here's a clip from my drone that cost £30, and I've tried to make it look beautiful. This is a template you could buy to make your videos look awesome. This is the same template with the footage I shot on my GoPro. The graphics look great, the rest, well, not so much. So that's the issue when it comes with editing things to try and look beautiful. But the people have spoken in the poll, so I tried my hardest to come up with some editing tips and tricks to help you edit better looking videos, even if you have shot on a crummy webcam that comes built into your computer like this. So I'm going to film this whole thing on my iMac's webcam and then edit it whilst I'm going along to show you how it might look better. It's worth noting that not everything I talk about is available on free software. If you're limited, then I'd recommend checking out DaVinci Resolve, although you might need to upgrade your computer a lot to use it. So to start with, you can see I've got these horrible lights above me and it all looks pretty grim. So to give this image a chance, I'm gonna play with the lighting. So this is a boring one and a very basic one that most software will do. All you need to do is adjust how bright or how dark or how much contrast your videos have. If you have waveforms like this in your editing software, you want to make sure you don't go over 100 here at the top with the highlights or below 0 here. You'll find the image loses quality if you do. So for example, if we go below 0, the shadows or dark bits, if you want to keep it mega simple, will lose their detail. So a black t-shirt will go from being able to see the creases to just a black blob. If you filmed on a mirrorless or DSLR or cinema camera, you'll have a lot more flexibility when it comes to changing these things. Now, I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but like I mentioned at the start, you really need to make the footage look good when you film because you can't really rely on this to save the day. So you can see I've made some adjustments to the short clip. Let's move on. So 2, color grading. Just like the previous example, if you've got a DSLR, mirrorless or a cinema camera, you'll be able to do a lot more here than with a webcam or GoPro or a phone's footage. So good editing software will give you the ability to adjust the colors of your clips. It might be a very basic correction like iMovie or more pro like Final Cut and Premiere Pro, or the mind-blowingly good color correction on Resolve. Either way, this is how the pros tend to make their already good looking videos even more beautiful. You can create moods and styles with grading, tell stories with colour, it's a whole world out there. But for most people, it's the basics you want to play with, which means turning the saturation up or down. So on this clip, because I've shot with a webcam built into my iMac, there's not a great deal that I can do with it. It's the latest iMac, so actually the webcam is a ton better than my last, so I'll show you what I'm going to do here. First, I've played with the exposure now because I want this video to pop. I'm going to bring up the saturation a bit too, and it looks okay. So now I'm going to try applying a LUT, a lookup table. These are basically templates you use on your videos to create different styles. The issue is, as you can see, most don't like webcam footage. These are free, by the way. I didn't pay for them. Google free LUTs for your own software and see what you can find. I'm going to go for a slightly autumnal, slightly grungy look here, and then I'm going to tone it down a bit because it's too much for my webcam to handle. Now I want the yellow to pop more, so I can on Final Cut select the colours to change in the image. So I'll highlight the yellow and bring the saturation up a ton, and then I can play with the green and skin tones, and yeah, I could spend forever on this. I'm not going to. All I want to do here is see some sort of improvement. So we can see that this has made the image look a lot better, and because I want to use this video on social media, I think it will help it stick out. So number 3, blur. So you know that lovely look you get with a proper camera? It blurs the background. Well, on a lot of cameras you can't do that, but there is a trick. Check out your editing software and look for a vignette. This often just puts a darker ring around the image, like so, but you might also have the option, like I do, to add a blur. Sure, it's not perfect, but it does enable you to create some depth. If you have a plain background behind you too, add some darkness to give you a look that appears to highlight yourself. Sure, it will blur your top, but it's not that easy to notice as people will be focusing on other things when the video rolls. Number 4, B-roll. When in doubt, cover it up. We've made an entire video about the best places to get free stock footage. Pexel's stock video looks awesome. Find some clips that are relevant to your content, use them to help tell a story or make a point. They're very professional, so straight away, you'll have better looking video edits. Number 5, text. Usually I keep my graphics super simple. I tend to use text and graphics to break a video up. That might not be so important in entertainment-based content though. So I've not really used any yet, as the plan is to edit on the go, so now I'm going to restart this chapter with the graphics. Number 5, text. As you can see, super simple, it's branded like our business, you can create your style however you like. I'd recommend sticking to the same font style and colours for all of your videos, as it will create consistency and save you a lot of time. Our backgrounds are really quite plain, but to make them more interesting, you could take a still from your video, put it on top, then most editing software, good software, will allow you to multiply it. You see that? It's not the same as changing the opacity. It kind of deletes the white in the image but puts the background colour on top. I then like to make the image black and white because the colours can look a bit mucky depending on the background colour you use. Then I drop the opacity so it's subtle and it gives the image some texture. Make sure your text pops and is easy to read, and then you can add in a little bit of movement. So this is the old Ken Burns effect. It will make the image increase in size very slowly so that you get this effect. So I use full screen text like this to break up the videos into chapters, which, kind of like a book, gives the viewer some respite and lets them know what's coming. It's also good for hiding things. I also will use this to hammer a point home. People read, listen and watch, and that means they can take it all in. The other option for text is to keep it on screen because I have stuff in the background, the shot gets a bit mucky. I do it sometimes, but I'd recommend doing it more if you shoot on a plain background. Number 6, graphics and templates. So by graphics, I mean animations like these, or little things you can add that bring the content to life a bit. You can get lots of templates online for all kinds of different editing software that will make your text look better, your transitions, your intros and so on. All I'd say about these are often I find they don't work, or they break my editing software. And also, many rely on you having great shots already. I'd also say if you want to use them sparingly, there's nothing worse than a video that's been over edited. Just because you have effects and funny things doesn't mean you should use them all the time. You want to add to the experience your content provides, not make them the experience. So for my video, I'm going to use a few transitions here and there from now on, which I probably wouldn't usually, and add a few animations and make more elaborate text animations. Again, for me, I'd probably keep it simple. So number 7, frames. So you might have been wondering why this video has been edited as a square the whole way through. Well, that's because if you don't have the ability to do any of the things I've just mentioned, you can make videos look better with a simple frame. So always post videos to social media as a square. They take up way more screen space. The thing is, if you don't shoot them for the square and blow them up to make them fit, you can lose information that's on the screen. So your software should allow you to change the aspect ratio of your project to a square. Then go and design your frame. So here we can see mine. I like to cut the middle out and overlap something onto the video. It just looks a bit more creative, kind of like a thumbnail. You can then go nuts with the colours if you want them to pop out. Get really creative with styles and make your frames the things that really grab people's attention. So that's how you can edit more beautiful videos. If you don't have software that can do these things and you want to try, check out DaVinci Resolve. It's free. You'll need some power on your computer though. Otherwise, Shotcut is another good free software. I'd recommend upgrading if you're serious about this to a paid option.